late today, but it is almost 60 degrees. It is gorgeous on the deck, so I will meet you out there. It is Saturday, March 27th. Ooh, it's craft together day. It's a beautiful day on our deck. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And there's my girls. There's my rascal child right there, the demon dog. I'm gonna finger comb my hair because I'm out here and I realized I forgot to comb my hair. Good morning, it's Barbara. Ugh. I turned this on before I'm ready. I don't know why I do that. Now you're straight. I got Maisie behind me. Now you're not straight anymore. There you go. Do you feel straighter now? It is super gorgeous out here today, and I am so happy that my neighbors haven't started their power tools yet. I'm hoping that they have other things to do on a beautiful Saturday so that I can sit out here during our crafting Zoom call today, which is at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, which means for you I know Great Britain doesn't change their clocks until tonight, and I don't know if you do it like in the middle of the night like we do, but anyway, so we are now an hour ahead of where we were last time. So it will be 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which in our previous existence would have been 1 p.m. So anyway, the point is that if you're in Europe and have not changed your clocks, you should probably look for us an hour earlier than you normally do, because we're in daylight savings time. They changed our clocks a couple weeks ago. So I'm just reminding you because I don't want you to miss the first hour of our crafting, and you might if you haven't changed your clocks yet. The link to the Zoom meeting is, the Zoom call is in Ravelry. Valerie has a thread there, and if you can't get to that, email me at flameandfiber@mindspring.com, and I will email you the link. And I hope you can come. I'm looking forward to it. I am wearing my same Archer today because I told you I could wear my sweaters 2 days in a row if I wanted to, and now I've decided I want to because I had to take my Archer off immediately after I finished my video yesterday. By the time I got inside and got the vlog edited and rendering, I was already hot and I had to change my clothes. So I didn't get a chance to wear my Archer. And it's a little cooler today, and I'm hoping that'll be cool enough. I'm hoping that it'll be quiet enough out here that I can do my crafting today on my deck. Although I will be probably a little bit selfish and be sitting there, and I'll be looking at the view, and you guys will be looking at each other anyway, and I'll only be this big on your screen, so it won't matter, right? So I hope you guys can come. I'm very excited. I slept terrible last night. I slept for 5 minutes. I was awake all night, and nights are really long when you're not sleeping. I almost got up and made myself like a sleepy time tea or something, and I probably should have because I didn't end up falling asleep very well. And so Dennis and I were sitting, he brought me a coffee in bed, which was nice, which is why I'm so late. And so we're sitting there, and he's like, well, what did you do different? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I have my Zoom call today. Maybe I'm excited about that. I have a tendency when exciting things are going to happen, I have trouble sleeping. So anyway, I worry a little bit about the calls because I have, feel like the host isn't responsible. But this is our third one, and the first two were really fun. So I don't know why I worry, but you know how it is. So I painted yesterday, and I knit yesterday, and I knit while watching watercolor videos yesterday. It was super, super windy yesterday. So while in fact, before I started editing my vlog, I ran upstairs and I took the sheets off the guest beds because the kids had been visiting, and so I took the sheets off and I put them in the washer, and so I could dry them on the line because it was so windy. And it took 2 loads, and the first load was dry enough to take off the line when we brought the second load out 45 minutes later. That's how windy it was, and that's how fast the sheets dried. It was so nice. And Dennis and I sat outside for a while, and until the chainsaw started. It was really nice. But we lost power 3 or 4 times, just for a couple minutes each time, but it made us a little worried. Dennis was going to make Portuguese pork for dinner, and he actually got everything all cut up and ready to go, and then we lost power and decided that we didn't want to risk it because it takes a while to actually cook, and we weren't feeling confident that we would have the power to do that. And our generator doesn't run the stove, so it wouldn't have helped to get the generator out. So he piled that all in the fridge, and we had something else easy, and so we're having Portuguese pork for dinner tonight, I think. But yeah, so it was one of those days, you know. Finally, I said, I'm not resetting the clocks anymore. I'm not doing it till the wind dies down. But it was only up for a few minutes each time, and so it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. But it was interesting. So anyway, that was our day yesterday. So we're probably having Portuguese pork for dinner, which is a yummy stewy thing that Dennis makes. My dad actually turned him onto the recipe. Dennis really likes it. I like it, but he really likes it. So, but it was one of my dad's recipes back in the day when my dad was cooking, and he had a cookbook that he really liked, but he only made recipes that had a picture. If there was no picture for the recipe, he never made it, which I thought was pretty cute. But he was a pretty good cook when he was doing the cooking. He did the cooking during several phases of their lives together. When he was working in the winery and had stopped teaching and was just a winemaker, and my mom was working full-time, Daddy was the cook very often. During the week anyway. And then when Mama started forgetting things, he started cooking because she couldn't remember, you know, if she put the salt and that kind of stuff. So he started cooking again, which was probably the impetus for them moving to the personal care home so that he didn't have to cook anymore. Anyway, so that's what we're having for dinner. So I painted yesterday, and this was the second picture I did, which I'm happy with. It wasn't the favorite of the two. It turned out actually pretty well. I like how the rocks turned out. And the both pictures I did were like paint along with the guy on TV kind of thing. He put a tree in the foreground here, which gives it a focus. I did not do that. I was really trying to explore the background and it's wet on wet technique, so things are generally softened and that kind of stuff. So I like how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. I like the other one better, but unfortunately, so did Maze. She liked the other one better too. I put some finishing touches on this, and you know, it was sitting on the table with the other one drying, and I got up to see how it looked after it dried, and there was only one picture on the table. I said to Dennis, one of my pictures is missing. Maisie took my picture. He took a flashlight out. This was dark, and he took a flashlight out and found this. She obviously likes the paint on the paper, because yesterday, I don't know if you recall, I had to yell at her to get her away from my pictures that I was showing you guys yesterday out here. Well, you can hardly tell what this was. And so she was licking the paint. So hopefully she wasn't getting very much paint when she licked it. And she ate the paper. Dennis couldn't find more paper. I can look out now that's the daylight and see if, you know. But it's 100% cotton, so while it is not actually digestible, you know. And I don't know what was in the paint, obviously, but she shouldn't be eating the paint. It's not non-toxic, I'm quite sure, but I think the volume of paint she got is not that high. But anyway, this one was very nice too. This one had trees in the foreground. Which is why I didn't feel any obligation to put a tree in the foreground of the other one. So there you go. She likes my painting. So Dennis has had emptied a bin, a small, very nice bin that will work perfectly to hold my papers and my pictures and things. So I will have to find a place for a new little bin because obviously they can't just be laying around. When Pearl was a puppy, everything ended up on the mantle. I don't know that I was showing my mantle very much. I wasn't doing my vlog at that time because Pearl just turned 4. So anyway, our mantle was always covered with stuff. My slippers were on the mantle, my, knitting was on the mantle, anything that, because she would go after everything. The clicker went on the mantle, the remote. I may have to go back to the mantle, although it could just be my paint gallery, because she's not doing too much, although we have had our tissue box in the yard recently too. I thought that was Pearl, but who knows? But I'm sure the painting was Maisie. She was all over that picture when I was sitting here yesterday. So she likes my paintings. I don't know what you're gonna do. I'll show you my navel orange in the sun. So my granito is coming along, kids. It's coming along. I'm surprised that actually I haven't done a ton of knitting this week. And I can tell you exactly how much knitting I have done, because last week on Sunday I was on a Zoom knitting. That Valerie does a Zoom knitting meeting on Sundays sometimes, and I was on there with her, and I don't know if, oh, there you can see, I was knitting, and I was right here where I was carrying my yarn up because I'm alternating skeins, and she told me how to do helical knitting, and that's where I stopped having my line all the way up and started helical knitting. So that tells you that this is how much I've knit since last Sunday. So it doesn't feel like very much. Certainly for me, it's not very much. I did have one boo-boo with my helical knitting where I picked up the same yarn when I was supposed to pick up the other yarn. But other than that, I'm doing good. And I'm finding it quite interesting. And I mean, the line inside didn't bother me, but Valerie sometimes turns her sweaters inside out and wears them, like reverse stockinette sweaters and things. So if you do helical knitting, you can do that because you have the option. But anyway, so here is my navel granito, live and in person. I'll be working on that today during our craft session. I'm absolutely in love with this yarn, and I'm enjoying every stitch of it, but I have been doing a lot of painting. And I have been doing a lot of sitting around and talking and, you know, whatever with Dennis. It's not like, you know, I don't know. It's weird. I'm not getting as much knitting done as I normally do. But I'm not reluctant to knit. So it's just... And I knit for a few hours last night while I was watching, after I stopped painting. And was still watching my painting videos, but I was knitting while I was painting, which I thought was very convenient. Oh, here are my earrings for today. These are mother of pearl and silver. I have a few mother of, well, actually what I'm thinking of are actually turquoise and silver, but these are mother of pearl and silver. Kind of fun. Silver color. They're not very tarnished, although I didn't look at them really closely. So they're probably not actually silver. They're probably silver colored metal, because silver would have tarnished in that box for being in that box for the last 20 years. So anyway, I'm quite comfortable out here in my Archer. And I am glad to be able to wear it again, because it's lovely. And, you know, I don't know how often I'll be able to wear it in the upcoming months, because it's going to warm up. So, but I got a new color yesterday for my temperature library, Buttercup. I haven't done any Buttercup, so you get Buttercup for my Friday book. It's the only brand new color I have for this week so far, but who knows what today will bring. Although it's not going to be warmer than Buttercup, but it might be. I might have a color in between. I might have skipped because it was pretty warm yesterday. So we shall see. Oh, it's nice out here. All right, well, I'm going to go, and I hope you can join us for our Zoom craft together today. Don't forget, we're on daylight savings time on the East Coast, so when you do your calculation, keep that in mind. And I will see you later, I hope, or tomorrow. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe and stay sane.